G'day legends, and welcome to another RIP episode of the Aunty Donna podcast. Welcome back to another week of the Moving Car podcast, an Aunty Donna and world first. If you're loving the Aunty Donna podcast, you can get the video to this podcast and plenty of bonus podcasts at auntydonnaclub.com.
You're listening to the Aunty Donna podcast, the greatest fucking podcast in the world. Brother Mike and Zach and sometimes some guests. We hope you enjoy the motherfucking podcast.
All right,
Welcome
to this week's episode of the podcast, a moving podcast. I am going to start driving.
Well, should I just say this is the first ever podcast recorded in a moving car.
Definitely.
The car is not moving yet, but the motor is running.
Shall we count down from 10?
Yeah, and if you don't, I would recommend listening to last week's podcast so you understand
Don't.
the rules of the democracy of the moving car.
Yeah. We'll post them somewhere.
Yeah.
Is this okay, Tom, this kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
great.
absolutely fine,
Awesome.
Braden.
Okay, great.
All right.
10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the car is
I'm in park.
You got
in
it.
park, and the
Have you
car...
got the handbrake? It looks like the handbrake's on.
Mark, this is a historic moment, mate. And the car is moving.
All right.
Welcome to the
Cops,
future.
Put it down.
Was it really cops, or are you just doing a bit?
No.
Where? Where are the cops?
That's right. They're gone.
You're fucking with me, mate.
I'm not.
Now,
Where were
guys,
the cops?
All right, I'm at a busy intersection here.
Careful, just focus, mate. We'll fill. Just don't.
What kind of intersection is it, Broden? Remember
No,
the
I'll
rules.
fill. I'll talk about it. It's
Is it T?
two roads crossing over
No, I don't
each
think
other.
it's a T. I'm not sure what it's called, actually.
An intersection. I believe the term is intersection.
No, but there's different types of intersections.
Is there?
Yes, there's a T intersection.
Well, it's not a T intersection.
Zach has his learners.
I do have my learners. I tried to learn how to drive and I failed.
We're heading down a street in Preston.
Thornbury.
Now,
Thornbury.
the first order of business, electing the Prime Minister
yes.
of the moving
Yeah,
car.
with the vote.
Now, who would like to put themselves forward
I would like to put
as
myself
Prime Minister?
forward.
The first candidate for Prime Minister is Mark Bonanno. I would also like to put myself forward. The second candidate of Prime Minister is Zachary Ruane.
Broden?
I think I would make a great Prime Minister, though I don't put myself forward because I'm busy driving.
Very good.
Tom?
Tom,
I think Mark should be it.
Tom, a president must remain impartial.
Well, he's not the president. We're
The
talking about
president
the Prime
should
Minister.
remain... Yes, and the president should remain impartial.
I'm impartial then.
Yes, very good.
But he
okay.
gets a vote as a member
but
of
but he remains impartial. He casts. Now this
Cast
is not
your vote.
this is not in the rule book, Mark.
Cast your
but
vote.
it is in custom that the president casts the vote last.
Cast your
We
vote.
are seeing a strange obliteration of custom here.
Broden?
Well, wait.
Seeing
Before
as-
we do, I'd like to do my speech.
We get to do a speech?
Yeah, I'd
All
like
right.
to do my speech.
Go, what are your
As
policies?
Prime Minister of this car, even though there is no rule, there is only a rule to state that two hands on the wheel, and there is no rule to state that the microphone must be placed in a way that makes Broden audible and easy to listen to. There's no rule about the person holding the microphone. I promise to all of my constituents that if I am Prime Minister, I will keep the microphone in front of Broden's face so he can be a part of the podcast.
Oh, I see.
I also would like to make
See
a promise.
Hear what he's doing there?
I would also like to make a promise that if I am Prime Minister, I will give Tom $10.
Bribery.
No, it's pork barreling at worst. All right, Mark, do you want to do a speech?
Yeah.
I just went through an amber light that changed to red.
Nice.
If you're wondering.
I wish not to get your vote with the promise of frivolous gifts.
Oh my God.
I wish not to.
Am I the only vote that matters?
I
No,
wish
he
not
can vote as well. We
to
can all vote.
guilt you into voting for me out of fear of not being on the podcast, not being able to be heard, out of the fear of your wallet being $10 lighter. No,
Heavier.
I am here to tell you that I will be a Prime Minister for the people of the car, because the people of the car are the people that matter. We are driving in the car and doing a podcast.
Correct.
Is that not what matters?
Okay.
Is that not what matters? I'll give you $20.
Will you really? Because I'm legitimately, tomorrow when we come into the podcast studio, I'm going to give Tom $10 cash.
I'll beam you $20 now. And Broden, I'll do the same for you. And I'll beam
But you won't have a microphone.
No, I will make sure that everything you say is recorded. I will favour your voice over mine.
Wow.
All right.
Time to vote.
Time to vote.
Zach, cast your vote.
I vote me.
Broden?
Zach has put forward a very strong position.
Yeah, pretty important for you.
Excuse me, I'm voting.
I'm so sorry.
It's a
Jesus.
sacred right.
There's a lot of potential prime ministers in this car that wouldn't interrupt you when you were.
Thank you, Mark.
interrupting right now. Can't
But
say.
but despite Zach, Mark promises twice the money to me.
He's literally going to have to give you $40, and I'm going to hold him to that. You have to give them
I'm giving him 20.
20 and 20. You have to give up $40.
Yeah, I
if
will.
you
I'll
win.
beam it. I'll show you. I'll prove
Yeah,
it to you.
you got to prove it. Broden?
Okay, yeah, he's going to send me $20.
Yeah.
Wow, are you sure?
Yes.
Hey, if I vote for you, do I get $20?
No.
Oh, fuck.
You've already voted.
I vote Mark.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tom.
I vote for Mark as well.
Why do you vote for Mark, cunt?
Because I feel like Zach will get upset and it'll be a good dynamic.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess it all
Good
comes down to
comedic.
me. The deciding vote.
You're
Do I split the vote?
What's this?
Because what would happen
Oh,
if we
what
split the
happens
vote?
if-
What
oh,
happens
that's
if the vote
interesting.
gets split?
Also, you don't have to give up $40 if you can lose.
Can
also,
I just- can I
am
interrupt?
I the kind of person that would vote for themselves? That's not very
Is it to
prime
introduce a
ministery.
guest?
It's not very prime ministery to vote for yourself.
Okay.
Okay, Mark.
I vote for Zach.
Oh,
Oh, this is
the
a constitutional crisis. There's no rules or amendments in the rule book for this.
Can I ring Sam and tell him I'm coming to get the Donna card?
You can ring Sam. Can you also get him to cast a vote?
Yeah, he's
Prime
going to have to
Minister of
vote.
the
He's going to have to
moving
vote
car.
because we're split.
Okay, but I all right. All right, I'm not on my phone, by the way. I'm not on my
Oh,
phone.
let me hold it.
Oh, yeah,
for you. Let me hold
It's all
it.
right,
for
sorry, we
you.
got it. The phone is ringing.
Was that in the car?
Yeah.
Hello, Broden.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're all
Listen,
here.
so, Sam, we don't have time to talk. We are coming to you now to get a Donna to get the Donna card.
to get the Donna card. All right.
You at home,
Where can I
Sam?
meet you? Yeah.
Just out the front.
Yeah, we'll just meet you. We'll just meet you at the front. But also, Sam,
Yeah.
You there, mate?
Sam, we
Yeah.
need you to cast the deciding vote in the democratic election of Prime Minister of the car.
Of the moving car.
So far, the tally is 2 votes Zach and 2 votes Mark.
Can I tell him? I think I can give a pretty even-handed impression to him of like the advantages of each. Can I just try and report it? You can challenge. it if you
I
want,
think
Mark.
all the only information Sam needs
I just want to give
is
him
to
one
know
piece of
who has voted
information.
for who.
Yeah, but I just want to give him a piece of information.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, you can. You can.
I've driven both past my partner Annie and her sister Jackie
Really?
at different points on this drive.
Well, you got to point that out.
You got to describe it.
I
gotta
stopped him from
describe it.
interrupting because we were doing the democratic election.
Sam?
And no, Sam. Can I just tell you one thing?
Well,
If-
first, I think you should know who's voted for who.
Why is that relevant?
It's incredibly relevant. It
Okay.
it speaks of character.
Sure.
So the votes
The two
were done
people-
this way.
We are at an intersection, by the way.
We're at an intersection in Northcote.
And
It's
that
a
was Mitch. No shit.
Oh my
Mitch
God,
Kelly?
guys!
Was that your brother,
That was
Mitch
Mitchell
Kelly,
Kelly.
my personal trainer?
We've seen my partner Annie, her sister Jackie, and my brother Mitchell.
Oh my
I'm
God.
starting to think they're organising a surprise party. That's crazy. Sam, you
the
listening?
I
votes-
will
wait-
cast my vote
Wait.
towards whoever is gonna has a stronger position on getting receipts for these purchases that they're gonna get made.
Oh.
Oh,
That's a
Sam?
great thing, Sam. That's a great thing to put forward. Zach, would you like to respond to the question first?
He's fiscally responsible, Sam.
Sam is fiscally responsible. Sam, I don't want that responsibility, and I would like to recuse myself from the race.
Well, you've just elected Mark Bonanno as Prime Minister. Congratulations. All hail Mark!
Thank
Who
you
is now
so much.
$40 poorer.
Sam, we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Good day to you, Sam. Oh, Mark's $40 poorer.
Folks, you're listening to the Aunty Donna podcast, Breaking Barriers. We are travelling in a car.
Oh, and you will hear more about it right after this. And we're back. And we're still in the moving car. We're on our way to Sam's house to get a Donna card.
Can we point out that I'm not joking? I saw my partner Annie, her sister Jackie, and we saw Mitchell Kelly, my brother, all in this We've been driving for 15 minutes?
All right, can we try one thing?
I have to do a U-turn.
Well,
This is gonna
keep
be fun.
driving.
crossing,
Just
it's
keep
crossing.
driving. Just keep driving and do a U-turn. There's going to be a roundabout that comes up soon. But just keep going and don't
You want to see your brother?
No, well, I want to take the risk.
Okay.
You wanna,
I want to roll the
take
dice.
the chance.
And let's
Why
see.
is it
If we see your brother and there's some sort of family magnet to this car,
Yeah.
I'm going to drive it off a cliff.
All right.
Because that, it's
Can
Coming
I
up.
say there's
Let's see.
there's a Zoom energy, there's a room
He's
energy,
not there.
and I'm feeling there's a car energy. This is
I didn't see my brother.
intense.
I did not see my brother.
Do you know that lady there?
No, I do
don't
not.
know that lady.
Okay.
Who was wearing a white shirt and had
You
glasses.
you only have to explain it if it's relevant to the observation.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No.
So you only have to explain that which is relevant. You don't have to say she was wearing sunglasses unless the point you want to make is, I want to get a pair of sunglasses like that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You guys,
Yeah.
I want to take a pee at Sam's house. Can I trust you guys to continue the car podcast without me?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But
Yeah,
then that
yes,
throws a lot of
absolutely.
the president is out. What happens then?
Well, you've got the Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister will run the show
Okay.
in the absence of the President.
No, I don't like
We-
the sounds of that.
It has to. The power would just pass down. No, it would become
Okay.
temporary president.
Well, I think I vote we put Sam in charge of the mixing.
That's
Oh,
a
look,
good idea.
Sam's here.
Sam is
Okay.
Sam.
Ladies, I'd like to introduce
Hazards.
I'd like to introduce a guest.
Okay, shut up, everyone. A guest is being
A
introduced.
best can be introduced at any time.
Our next guest on the podcast is our head writer for Aunty Donna.
Oh,
And-
shit. Careful.
Sorry, there's a car. Sorry.
If you just park and put your hazards on, no one will get mad at you.
This isn't really a park.
Yeah, but his hazards are on.
The hazards are on.
Talk into the microphone.
Yeah,
Sam.
one of the rules
Yeah,
is you have
let
to
Tom
talk
out.
into the
Tom,
microphone. Tom has to piss.
Can Sam go to the bathroom?
Bathroom at my house?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
this
all
is
part of it.
this is all part of it.
This is a three-parter too.
If you,
Oh,
can you get
absolutely.
into your house, Sam, can you jump in the car? Can we just do a loop of the block while he goes into your house?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
All right, Sam, get in the car.
Sam, get in the car, please.
Sam.
Our next guest, can you please introduce him?
Yes, our next guest.
Our
I've got to
next
do
guest.
two things. Our next guest is Sam Lingham. He
My
is
handbrake's
a
on.
writer with
Hold
Aunty
on.
Donna. And he also is in charge of finance. That's why we went to him to get the credit card. We're going to be doing some loops of the block with Sam. But before we do, Sam, we've got to
Introduce him.
I've got to do a ceremonial thing in order for him to be president. It's simply a ceremonial thing.
He's not president.
No. Can I do the ceremonial task?
Yeah, but a guest can be introduced at any time.
And I've introduced him.
Well, no, welcome, Sam. And he has
Welcome,
to say,
Sam.
happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
Okay, Sam. Welcome to the car. He who holds the sound equipment. What is it that you hold?
I'm holding the sound equipment.
Oh, no.
I'm the temporary president,
Can you
and
give
I'm
him the sound equipment? I think this is too much of a confluence.
No,
of
it's
colour.
not.
If he's
It's
the
not a
president,
conflict of
He's the
interest.
president. We can't ask him to.
Well, I've got to do the ceremonial question.
Oh, look.
I
That
said-
That lady we saw before is now with a man and they're hugging.
The one with the sunglasses.
Yeah.
It was relevant.
It's become relevant.
Yeah.
Mark, do you know how to use the sound equipment?
Yes,
With confidence, can you
with
say you
absolute confidence.
do? Well then, Mark, I crown you the president of the moving car.
Thank you.
God, this is a dark day for democracy.
Why?
It's too much power in the hands of one
Can we-
person.
can
The president will be back shortly.
Can you interview Sam? Give it how's your day been?
Sam, how has your day been?
Good, thank you.
What have you been doing at home?
So, Mum and Dad were over, so we went out and visited Omar this morning at the nursing home.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Are
Are they still there? Did Tom just walk in?
No. They've gone home, and then we
That's
went
nice.
to the nursery and got some plants,
Oh, that's nice.
and then we had a delicious lunch at Chamiat. If you're in the North region, I would encourage everyone to get down there. Really fantastic restaurant. Very
What kind of cuisine are they doing at Chaminan?
Chamiat, and they do Syrian.
Syrian.
So this is what happens
Cuisine.
with countries as well. Is Zach has evolved to be able to hold two microphones with one hand.
That's incredible.
I'm really big on the idea of custom. Like, you don't actually know how to have to use the
Maybe a
sound
little
machine
closer,
anymore.
little closer to your
To
to
be
your mouth.
president?
Yeah.
You don't actually have to know how to be president. You just have to answer the two questions. Are you holding the sound equipment, and do you know how to use it? That's the custom.
yeah. And what do you have planned for tonight, Sam?
I am going to IMAX to watch Dune.
Dune. Have you seen Dune?
I have not seen Dune.
Dune is fantastic. You're gonna love it.
June.
Dune.
It's a diphthong, Mark.
I say Dune.
And that's incorrect.
That's what the Americans say.
Dune.
June.
Dune.
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 It's Dune.
No, Dune.
I like saying Dune.
Yeah.
June.
And the correct way to say it is June.
January,
I've got-
February, April, March. What's the next month?
June.
Dune and then July.
We are heading around the same roundabout we've now hit 3 times. Do you
As
know?
we break boundaries.
Oh, Sam, guess what members of Broden's immediate
In the first 15 minutes.
in the first 15 minutes of this podcast, we have run into people that are connected to Broden in one by blood, one by Legion, and one by
the blood of his legion.
By the blood of his legion. Can you guess who those 3 people are who we've run past in the first 15 minutes of this podcast?
Look, based on our geography and based on your clues and based on nothing else, based on no information I may have heard on the phone earlier, I'm going to guess Annie.
Yeah.
Correct, and that is connected to Broden by which of
Legion.
correct?
And then I'm going to guess Jackie.
Yeah.
Who is
Blood of Legion.
correct? And the third
Mitch.
connected by
Blood.
correct, Sam.
Get
What
out
a
of
great
the car.
guest.
That was a great guess. I thought you were going to be president.
Stop, there's a car in
Put
my
the
ass.
hazards on.
There's a car in my ass. I gotta move.
You gotta go.
This car beeping me.
I was hoping Sam would be promoted to president. That was why I got him in the car. But we've seen a great corruption of the democracy of the moving car today.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Thank you so
All
much,
get
Sam.
out.
Can you we need to talk about, I was just beeped. So Tom's going to take us through that. Our next guest, if I'd like to introduce a guest, our next guest is
Oh, you can do that at any time, Broden.
Tom Armstrong, the Prime Minister, the President of the car.
Of the move. Well, he is not yet.
And
Seatbelts
I pass. Seatbelts are on, and I pass over the sound recording equipment, which indicates now that the president has been reinstated to
Tom.
the original president that was originally
Can I
agreed
ask the
upon,
ceremonial questions,
and according to yes, you may.
Tom.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. No, it's 3 questions.
Yes.
May I speak to he who holds the sound equipment?
Yes.
What is your name?
Tom.
Tom.
Tom, what?
Where are you from?
Thomas Armstrong.
Where are you of?
I'm
The moving
from
car. You're Tom of the moving
Viewbank.
car. No, you're Tom of the moving
Oh,
car.
Tom of the Moving Car Podcast.
Tom of the moving car. What do you hold in your hands?
A Zoom recorder.
That's the sound equipment.
Sorry, the sound equipment.
Tom of the moving car with the sound equipment. Do you know how to use it?
Correct. Yes, I do.
Then I crown you president of the moving car.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you is what you have to say as well.
Is that ceremony?
Yeah, this car's about to pull out in front of me.
A clams
Now-
seafood van tried to pull out while Broden was going past. We weren't close to an accident, but perchance
Explain what's happening here.
there's
What is happening?
What?
Oh, is
Well,
there like
Carl's
a
not gonna
jazz
let me.
band?
There's a jazz band to the left.
There's a jazz band to the left.
Jazz band's
and
to the
a
left of me.
Douchebag in a car that he bought
Tom,
during his midlife
Here I
crisis.
am, podcasting in a car with you.
Do you want a review of my PP that I had?
No, I want you to tell how someone beeps me.
Oh, so I was about to jump into the car, and then Broden had just pulled over on the side street, and someone just started beeping him.
Beep, 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 beep.
Honestly, it pulled over for but a moment. I said to put the hazards on. Broden didn't. Once you have your hazards on, they can't do anything.
I don't like the energy of this moving car podcast. It's really intense.
It is intense. This is high voltage, because we're the first people in this land.
So, because
This is new. This is Mars.
Here's my theory. You got one person that's focusing more on driving than on doing a podcast. Got another person that can't make eye contact because they're in the back seat. And what that creates is just a strange, disconnected, frantic tension, which I love.
Well, let's play it back and see. We'll see after this.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Tom, you should wear the headphones.
Okay.
I wanted to take the muffy back.
The next location we are going to, folks. Would anyone like to guess?
It's going to be... No, I reckon it's going to be the Brunswick East Post Office.
And where did you want to go? You want to go to a car wash?
I want to go to a car wash.
Fuck, all right.
As long as it's in a 5-kilometre radius.
That is going to be hard to find.
There'll be one on Bell for sure.
Can you clarify, Mark, as well, the 5K radius is not a state-mandated COVID-safe issue either. That is something we've put on ourselves.
It's something... I saw that the post office was 4 kilometres away.
Is that a rule or is it a gentleman's
It's a rule.
agreement?
It's a rule.
Is the 5 kilometres related to the last location or the central location?
The central
location.
location to where we must head back once all locations have been visited.
And these are the rules of the moving car.
So say you.
So say I.
So say all of us.
And so say all of us.
And so say all of us.
And so say I.
So say all of us.
Well, you said so say all of us, so that encapsulates.
Well, it's so say all of us and so
Shoving a
say I.
microphone into Broden's sightlines while he's trying to fucking...
on a very busy
I'm gonna
road.
kill all of us. Just,
We are on
Broden, here's your
St.
microphone."
George's Road and there are cars aplenty.
Great local knowledge, Mark.
Thank you so much. As the cars zoom by, filled with people going to places, busy, busy, busy. Who knows what sort of lives they lead, what devious secrets, perchance, they're carrying in their heads, in the boots of their car. They're all sick sex freaks thinking about doing shit no one
A little
could
bit of conjecture in your
fathom
description
here.
there, Mark.
Disgusting freaks thinking about doing things with their willies and power tools, BDSM-y slaps and scissors.
Now, Mark, I just realised we need to be careful not to say every street we go on for fear of creating a driving length kind of triangulation docs of sex.
That's true. That is true.
You know, if we say every street and then they work out the driving length, we could sort of triangulate docs.
I think I've only said... Nope, cut that. I think I've only said St. George's Road. Please cut that, Tom, because what I did just say was the name of Sam's street.
All right. Now we're just
Wow.
going through a nice housing, like just a nice suburb.
Now, I want you to imagine a sort of a nice, pretty house from the 20th century that's been converted in the back. A series of little houses that now have giant, fancy boxes at the back of them.
There are trees.
And there are trees, some parkland, perhaps.
A bit of parkland, a bit of trees, letterboxes. I just saw a letterbox that was white.
Are we on
with
a-
numbers on it?
Are we on the edge of a regular park, do we think, or perhaps
That's-
one of the
that's-
many creeks of the
Creek.
north?
It's a creek.
Creek.
That's
yeah.
a creek of the
Park.
north.
That is Creek Park.
And of course, the northern suburbs of Melbourne, famed for its what I like to call the green veins of the northern suburbs, the parkland surrounding the flood plains of the many beautiful creeks.
Not many cars on this suburban street. Most of them parked on the side. The busy hustle and bustle of human beings going about their lives, thinking
Mark,
about all the kind of dirty sex things they want to do to
Mark,
each other.
I wanna-
Disgusting things in the dark. Things they couldn't tell their parents in fear of judgment.
Mark, I reckon if you continue the way you're continuing,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you continue the way you're continuing with this sort of conjecture in your descriptions and a lack of editing, I just want you to know that you might come to regret that. And you might find yourself having a bit of an accident if you keep doing this.
Well, am I going to shit my pants?
Veiled threat. That's allowed.
That's a veiled threat.
That's a veiled threat.
Oh, no, I guess it was
No, it wasn't an overt threat.
It was a veiled threat, which is against the rules. However, rules are meant to be broken. I'll allow it.
Oh, wow.
Motion passed.
Motion passed.
Ma, I actually, on the rules, you are in charge of directing me to the Brunswick East Post Office.
True.
There is multiple of those, so could you please confirm which one?
Yes, can we go to Lygon Street?
Yeah, there's multiple on Lygon Street.
All right, cunt.
Wow.
This is the funniest thing we've ever done.
That's
You want to... So when you get to Lygon Street, Broden,
Yeah.
you keep going straight, and when you get to Lygon Street, I want you to turn left.
Yeah, see, I would have turned right, so lucky we checked.
Lucky
Mark,
we did check.
Can I ask you a question, mate? Would
Absolutely.
it be offensive now if I said something like, "Oh, Lygon Street, careful you don't get distracted by the pizza and pasta"?
So
Would that be
for those,
offensive? Am I allowed to say that?
so but for
No, it's Mark's choice.
explain the joke. Explain the joke.
So Lygon Street, for those overseas, this is like it's like the
Or
little-
interstate.
interstate. Oh, I think it's Australian. Lygon Street is our Little Italy. It is Melbourne's Little Italy. It is the Italian capital. You want to get yourself a capricciosa?
If you feel like going out for dinner and being harassed constantly into getting into restaurants that you don't want to eat at, go to Lygon Street. You'll have a great time.
Would that be rude of me to say that? Are you okay with me making that joke? Because I don't have to make the joke.
No, I think that's the experience of Lygon Street.
And Mark, it's no coincidence that Mark's local post office is in Little Italy.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
Because he's Italian.
Well, let's
all
not say
mail
it's
is
my
directed
local
to Lygon
post
Street.
office.
The aspersions.
Well, we're picking up mail from.
Maybe I get it directed to a post office far from me.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah, you definitely do that.
See how many members of Aunty Donna we can dox in one podcast.
Let's also bring episode 2 to a close, guys.
Oh wow!
Okay.
This is a two-parter.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it at
And-
arriving at the post office.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we got one. We did one. We've done one task. We got the Donna card.
Yeah.
From Sam.
Yeah.
We got to meet Sam.
Yeah.
Don't show the numbers of that card, by the way.
Yeah. Put it down there. No one.
Don't want anyone stealing now. Hey Tom,
Yes.
I would call this a two-parter.
I've been waving it around
because
like
I
crazy.
think the first podcast is a prelude. The one in the still car is not
okay.
part one of a three-parter.
So this is the Moving Car Podcast part
part
1 right now. Okay.
And the first one is the
still
is the
car
moving
podcast.
car prelude.
It's a prelude.
Prelude.
Colon the still car. That's what I believe it would be.
I'm on board.
All right. Well, so we're gonna close this podcast as we arrive at the post office. Is
We
that
are
correct,
now
Broden?
we are
Yeah,
now
yeah. We're
driving
about a block or two away, I believe.
We are now
Yeah.
driving through the canyons of the 1 and 4 up to the designated line apartment buildings, the canyons of the 5-story tall apartment buildings of Lygon Street.
I also said I was from Viewbank earlier, so we've doxed us all.
Yeah, but you don't live there anymore.
You don't live there now.
True.
Well, I used to live here, like right here, literally there.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
nice.
But I don't anymore.
So you can dox yourself from the past.
I remember we had.
A time traveller is listening. A time travelling stalker. All right. Let's keep it interesting. Broden, what is your favourite place to go on a Sunday drive to?
The footy.
Yeah, good one.
What about out of football season?
The basketball.
Is there ever a time when there's not sport on, Broden, that you want to drive to?
Yeah. Like now.
All right.
I'm over this.
No, we got so much more to do, man. Car washes, McDonald's, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. After this.
And then we got to drive back to where we've been podcasting from.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see.
Did we
whether-
all just burn out at the same time?
Yeah, like in unison.
As like we hit traffic, and that's what's
Hey,
done it.
do you want to hear my
I
pitch?
wanna
Do
die.
you want to hear my pitch?
Yeah.
We pretend to get to the post office, and then we have a little rest.
I can't explain to you how much
And
my
then
enthusiasm
we come
just
back
dissipated.
fresh for part 2.
We can't. We got to keep rolling.
Oh yeah, we don't know how to restart the GoPro.
Yeah, but then it's like a little piece of bonus footage. Is us
resting.
not on, just having a brain rest.
Hey, that's
just
great.
Silently driving, and we'll pop that up on the Patreon. Just us silently driving for 4 minutes. No, that's terrible. Let's keep pushing through.
Well, we're getting very close to the post office for
Very
those
close.
listening.
It's just past the next big road, Broden.
Yep.
So
So excited for us to get there. And if you are listening at home, play along. Pretend you're driving in a
Well,
car.
they're in a podcast studio.
If you're
Yeah.
listening at home,
And- Yeah, no.
I will come and kill you.
No, that is a veiled
Beep
threat.
that.
It's not veiled. That's overt.
That's overt.
We should have put. Can we put that amendment in later?
No
What, an
overt
amendment, no overt
threats.
threats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
No
is,
threats.
Is it full on to say I'm going to murder our audience?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm joking.
It's dripping
Oh.
with irony, so I can tell.
yeah,
Okay.
irony.
Here comes an issue. No parks in front of the post office. Mark, you need to.
Park down a side street.
Oh,
You got to get
right
out,
here.
get out,
Just
Mark,
park
get
here.
Out, get
put
out,
your
get
hazards.
out.
I promise you, you put your hazards on.
they're on.
Right? No one's going to say
All right.
shit.
All right, next week,
Hold the microphone.
when we come back next week, Broden will be getting back. No, Mark will be getting back in the car. This is the end of part 1 of podcasting in a moving car. Next week, Mark will be getting back. We'll find out if he got his package.
You've been listening to the Aunty Donna podcast. Thanks for joining us for another RIP episode brought to you by AuntyDonnaClub.com. See you next week.